Hello everyone, my name is Teacher Carl. How are you today? Okay, I'm good. Please get your book Science in Action 5. Please get your book Science in Action 5 and please open your book on page 48. Please open your book on page 48. Okay, are you ready? Let's begin. Our topic for today is about reproduction in plants. Okay, our topic for today is about reproduction in plants. Okay, so key concepts. Key concepts. There are two types of reproduction, asexual and sexual. Plants show both types of reproduction. Asexual reproduction does not involve the mixing of male and female germ cells and does not result in the production of seeds. Sexual reproduction involves male and female germ cells, pollen, containing sperm and ovules. Flowers are the sexual reproductive structure of plants. The life cycle of flowering plants includes a seed growing into a mature plant, producing flowers, which in turn produce gametes. These gametes combine to form a new seed, which can then continue the life cycle. Okay, vocabulary. So vocabulary, read the vocabulary, repeat after me. Biotechnology. Okay, very good. Now, can you spell biotechnology, please? Biotechnology. Biotechnology. And next is genetic modification. Genetic modification. Okay, very good. Now, can you spell genetic modification? Genetic modification. Genetic modification. And next is germination. Again, please, germination. Okay, good job. Now, can you spell germination, please? G E M Germination. Germination. And next is grafting. Again, grafting. Now, can you spell grafting, please? Grafting. Grafting. Okay, and next is seed. Okay, very good. SEED. Okay, wait, here is plant propagation. Plant propagation. Okay, very good. Now, can you spell plant propagation, please? Plant propagation. Plant propagation. In here. Next is spore. Spore. Okay, now can you spell for spore, please? SPORE. Spore. Okay, good job. And next is watering can. Again, watering can. Okay, good job. Now, can you spell watering can, please? WATERING. Watering can. Okay, good job. So that's our vocabulary, okay? Okay, and now please open your book on page 50. Now please open your book on page 50. Okay, listen very carefully. Reproduction and breeding in plants. Okay, reproduction of plants. Reproduction in living things refers to their ability to produce new living things. Production in plants can be divided into two types, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Okay, reproductions in plants can be divided into two types. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Okay, what is asexual reproduction? So asexual reproduction is reproduction that only needs one parent. It is commonly found in non-flowering plants such as ferns. Ferns produce spores inside structures under their leaves called sporangia. When they are ready, these spores are blown away by the wind and will later grow into new plants. Another type of asexual reproduction is budding, where a small plant of a plant falls off and grows into a new one. People also have different methods they can use to get plants to reproduce asexually, including tissue culture and grafting. Okay, so asexual reproduction that only needs one parent. Okay, only needs one parent. Example is ferns. Okay, so example is ferns of asexual reproduction. Okay, so ferns is one example of, okay, that's ferns. Okay, so this is ferns. Okay, so that's the ferns. Okay, so ferns. Ferns is an example of non-flowering plants. Doesn't have flower. Okay, non-flowering plants. Ferns produce spores. Okay, so ferns produce spores. Spores there. So that's the spores. Inside structures under their leaves called sporangia. When they are ready, these spores are blown away by wind. Okay? These spores are blown away by wind and will later grow into new plants. Okay, so ferns don't have flowers, non-flowering plants. Okay, another type of asexual reproduction is budding, where a small part of plant falls off and grows into a new one. Okay, so falls into the grounds and then it grows. Okay, budding. That's another example of asexual reproduction. People also have different methods they can use to get plants to reproduce asexually. Okay, asexually including tissue culture and grafting. Okay, so grafting is here, right? Okay, so that's grafting. So that's another examples of asexual reproduction. Okay, so what about sexual reproduction? So what about sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction requires two parents. It also needs male germ cells called pollen grains and female germ cells called egg cells. Okay, so sexual reproduction requires two parents, which is pollen grains, male germ, male male germ cells called pollen grains, and female germ cells called egg cells. Together, the pollen and eggs produce a seed. Okay, so together, the pollen and eggs produce a seed, which can then grow into a new plant. This type of reproduction is commonly found in flowering plants like roses. Flowers are the reproductive organs of flowering plants. Flowers can reproduce the male pollen grains and the female egg cells. Okay. Plants can be categorized into two main groups, non-flowering plants and flowering plants. Okay, so plants can be categorized into categorized into two main groups. Non-flowering plants, no flowers, okay. Non-flowering plants and flowering plants. One without flowers or no flowers, and then the other one with flowers, okay, flowering plants. Okay, non-flowering plants refer to fully grown plants. Okay, sorry, please open your book on page 51. Please open your book on page 51. Okay, so plants can be categorized into two main groups, non-flowering plants and flowering plants. Non-flowering plants refer to fully grown plants with no flowers, such as mosses, ferns, cycads, and ginkgo. To, so moss, fern, cycad, ginkgo. Okay, so those are an example of non-flowering plants. So what are the examples of flowering plants? Okay, flowering plants refer to fully grown plants with flowers for reproduction, such as roses, Chinese roses, hibiscus, and coconuts. Okay, example, rose, Chinese rose, banana, coconut. So those are an example of flowering plants, okay? Okay, 2.1.2, the structure of flowers. That's the structure of flowers. A flower has four main parts, which are sepals. Okay, flowers has four main parts, which are sepals, petals, the stamen, and the pistil. Okay, so plants has four main parts. Those are sepals, petals, the stamen, and the pistil. Okay, sepals. What is sepals? Sepals are the outermost part of a flower and help to protect the inside of the flower from insects. Sepals are usually green like leaves. Okay, so sepals are the outmost parts of a flower and help to protect the inside of the flower from insects. Okay, you see the green color under the flower. So that's the sepals. Okay, outermost part of a flower and they help to the inside protect the inside of the flower from insects. Sepals are usually green like leaves. Okay, okay, so the next part is petals. And what is petals? Petals are the parts inside the sepals. They are colorful, which helps to attract insects like bees, which help to spread the plant's pollen to other plants. So you see those petals. Okay, so petals is this, the colorful parts. Okay, so that's the petals. See, that's the petals. Okay, the stamen. And the stamen. The stamen is the male part of the flower and is found inside the petals. The stamen has two parts. Okay, stamen. What is the stamen? The stamen is the male part of the flower and is found inside the petals. The stamen has two parts. What is this? What are they? Okay, so the two parts of stamen are the anther and the filament. The anther and the filament. Okay, so what is the anther? The anther, which contains the pollen grains. Okay, the anther, which contains the pollen grains. The filament, which holds the anther and connects to the base. The filament, which holds holds the anther and connects it to the base. Okay, so that's the two parts of stamen. Okay, and the last one is the pistil. Okay, so what is the pistil? Okay, the pistil is found in the central part of a flower. It is made up of the following parts. The stigma is at the top of the pistil. It is sticky so that it catches pollen brought by insects. The style supports the stigma, and the ovary forms the base of the pistil and contains egg cells. Okay, so here, look at the picture. So that's the anther, filament. Okay, so that's the part of the two parts of stamen. Okay, and the sepal. Sepal is this green color here. Okay, so that's the sepal. Okay, so that's the sepal. And petal. Okay, so that's the petal, the colorful. Okay, and stigma. That's the stigma. And the style here, the style. The style supports stigma. Style supports stigma. And the ovary. The ovary forms the base of the pistil and contains egg cells. Okay, so that's the part of the parts of the flowers. Okay, so that's the parts of the flowers. Okay, what are the different parts of a flower? So what are the different parts of the flower? Okay, so the different parts of the flower are sepals, petals, the stamen, which has two parts, the anther and the filament, and the pistil. Pistil, it is made up of the following parts. Pistil, which is made up of the following parts: the stigma, the style, and the ovary. Okay, so that's the parts parts of the pistil. Okay. Okay, understand? Okay, so next meeting we will have an experiment next meeting, okay? Okay, so that's it for today. Okay, next meeting, please get a flower, rose, eggplant flowers, pumpkin blossom, Chinese rose, or papaya blossom, okay? Next meeting. Okay, so that's it for today. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can also ask Teacher Nook or Teacher Ploy. Okay, so that's it for today. Goodbye, everyone.